Okay, I've kind of just be doing a little bit of art history. So if you're out there, professor of CWI or Forever Wolf Films, maybe you'll like this video, because if you know anything about technical illustration, so before there was computers, drafters used to take 2D blueprints and measure the distances of the sections of parts, front view, top view, side view, of devices, and then make a three-dimensional drawing in isometric. And then the pencil drawing would get inked, and then it would get photostated, copied, and printed in technical manuals for, like, illustrated parts breakdown drawings in automotive repair or equipment maintenance, or how something is built, how to make something, how to build something, and show it in 3 dimensions. And what I did is I used a drafting machine quite extensively in school. I still have this, but I don't have a table for it though. It's pretty good. You can do all your angles with it. It's been a long time since I used one of these. But let me show you some of the drawings that I've done in my school. So this was a pump or hydraulic valve. Really sorry about the reflecting light. I do have these scans and I can put them up as a slideshow, but I have the Microsoft Movie Maker, and it's really hard to use, so I don't really like to do editing in my videos. It takes too much time, so I could show you this. These were pencil drawings. I just did a drawing out of a school book, and then showed the dimensions and just how to dimension the drawings. Did a lot of part drawings, machine part drawings in my schools. So this is a company I worked for as a part-timer. I worked through an employment agency. It was just the layout of a cooling tower. This might be on an office building, or at some kind of industrial park, or some area where there's a lot of industry. There was they use it for power production, power generation. So they cool the turbine water down, so it would go up. So they use those in lots of places. Oil refineries have them too. Mostly they're using them in air conditioning systems on big office buildings too. So it has these pipes that run along the roof or on the ceiling, and they hang from the ceiling, and there's it's sort of like a emergency fire sprinkler system. Only it's at a tower, and then there's fans on top of the tower that draw the hot air up. Pull the air through the building while these sprinklers are working. It was kind of interesting working there for a while. And then there's another one of some landing gear I did. Yeah, the teacher that taught the course, we used the blueprints from Lockheed. That's where she went to school or worked at. So we did all the 3D mechanical drawings of the equipment off of the 2D blueprint drawings. I did a drawing for electrical schematic. So this was all laid out with pen and ink, and you glue these. They're not glued; they're adhered down. It's just type from the typewriter. I typed it all out, and I cut it out and then I glued it down after I did the pen and ink drawing of that. So then there was, here's a little job I did for a guy who's setting up a compressed air system, and he wanted me to draw the parts so they could go in this instruction manual for it. And there's some, that was a exploded view drawing I did of component parts. I drew those by hand from 2D drawings, made 3D drawings, and then that's ink with, I use a rapidograph ink pens. There's, you know, 000, 01 or 00000 sizes of the pen, and you can ink lines at different line weights back before computers, you know. Here's some, this was supposed to go on a spacecraft. It's an attitude control tank. It just holds the gases, and then there's regulators there. And I did all this. I did a pencil drawing from a, this was taken from a 2D drawing, and then it was converted into 3D. And then after I made a pencil drawing, I inked over that. Here's some more drawings I did of some architectural, structural, mechanical devices. Some more drawings I've done, taken from a textbook at a college I went to. This was this is an F-16. I did this from a magazine, drawing and done in 2D. And this was done with a trimetric. So I had to use the different ellipse, varying ellipse sizes that I have in here. I have a set of them, different degree ellipses. So there's another illustration I did on Mylar. I inked it on Mylar. I didn't do the actual drawing, but it was inked on the Mylar. And then here's another drawing I did, just to show an illustration, cutaway view of a valve. So what was supplied to me was 2D drawings, and then I converted them into 3D. Here's another illustrated diagram of an air conditioning system. This was put together by a gentleman. His name was Frank Reggie. I worked at Facility Systems Engineering. And here's an illustration I did of how to operate a small handheld stove. I don't know if you can. Really sorry about the lighting in here. It's not that good. So how to operate a stove, I did the illustration and showed step by step how to use a stove, take it, utilize its, just have an instruction guide for using a small stove. Here's a drawing I did of a bicycle. There's a bicycle in the garage, and I was just had some free time and made a drawing of it. Here's some more mechanical drawings I did at the college I went to. Pencil drawings. So just some of my work that I've done. I took a course in black and white photography, and we had a laboratory, and I used the laboratory and use the photographic enlargers and some more. So I did a lot of black and white film negative developing too. Used to roll the negative in a device and then develop it, and then you dry it, and then you use the negative in the film enlarger, and it makes an image of light, and then that exposes the paper. And the problem I had was in the beginning when I did it, I didn't wash or rinse the paper well enough, and it would get spots and stains on it like this down here. So when I had a good laboratory that I had, a photo lab that I had access to, I could do if you're ever in Los Angeles area and around San Pedro, California, this is just south of San Pedro, or it's it's near it's near the point there, Palos Verdes Peninsula. If you're driving south on Palos Verdes Peninsula, there's a place called Land's End. What's happening is the ground is shifting and it's falling apart and going into the ocean. So it's left the sidewalk and the roadbed and all that when they made it, because of the ocean, the erosion of the water table washing the land into the ocean. So it was an interesting place to shoot some pictures. That's a friend of mine, and I superimposed him jumping. I took the negative and I laid a negative on a negative. I did that, and that's underneath a radio tower at the end of San Pedro Harbor, Long Beach Harbor. On the rock, there's a rock groin that goes way out. You can walk along it. And there was this antenna at the end there. We did some portrait photography, where we used a portraiture camera and we had to take pictures of other students. That's a photo I took of the stone monument there in front of St. Jerome's Parish. This is in Los Angeles, and that's from the airport there. We climbed over the fence and we were taking pictures of the planes. Of course, nowadays, no way you could do that. So it was interesting. I tried to find places to take pictures and subjects I could take. There's something I did. I tried to develop the picture differently. I think I overexposed it or something. I turned the light on while I was developing it. I don't quite sure how I did that. Oh, there's more of Land's End. You can see where the sidewalks are falling apart into the ocean there. The ocean is eroding it away. There's a multiple exposure I did. I was in a baseball diamond. It was nighttime and I had the tripod set up, and I put my camera with the shutter open. The camera had the ability to leave the shutter open. So I put the camera on the tripod and I opened the shutter, and then I went around the baseball field with my little flash that I had. I used it as a flash for a camera attachment. And I went and I stood in one spot, flashed myself, walked in another spot, flashed over myself, and walked in and did that, and then it exposed it each time on the film when the negative was developed. Oh, here's another. This gentleman I went to at the same college with. So we had, in the class, everybody had to take a portrait shot of somebody else, another student. So that's the gal that was in the first one. Then here's a brochure that I designed to go onto an advertisement for business. Same thing. Here's another series of advertisements I was working on. And I have some airbrushing in here too. I've done.